Life could be dream.
Okay.
Life could be dream.
Are we ready, angels?
Boop, jump, boop, dee-doo.
Are we ready? Good morning, Terrador's Trespassers. My name is Joe. I'm going to be your DM for today, and this is session 16 of Terrador's Trespass, A Shattered Alliance. Last we left off, we fought Vondel, apparently a vampire, and she disappeared, and we found passage on a boat to Silver Mist for Maverick's debate. This session is closest to Megan Lane's birthday, who she is now 20 years old. And to honor both Megan and Lorik, the body she's inhabiting for now, we encourage all of you to, whenever talking to Lorik in character today, please comment on how big and strong he is. It would just make him feel nice.
It's his birthday.
We begin. It is the 31st day of Mistwood when you arrive in Silver Mist. The whale that Kiana challenged to race you all to Silver Mist beat you by hours. I mean, if you had taken that whale, you would have been there like 5, 6 p.m. You could have gotten dinner in town. But
Tell us about the whale.
But you didn't do that, and there's no going back, so that's okay.
I'm staring at Maverick. And I told you.
Not doing this with you right now.
Maverick's about to throw up. So you guys get to your inn for the evening. And the only room that they have available is a family suite. So we have you have a master bedroom with a double bed, a bed with bunk beds, with two beds that are bunked, and one living room area that could easily fit Kiana's barrel, with a little bit of floor room. Who's sleeping where?
Sleepover!
With your mom.
Sleepover!
Kiana, do you want your barrel in this space?
Yes, please, Lorik. If you're so big and strong, can you please place it in that corner over there?
Of course.
Much appreciated.
Of course, absolutely. And Lorik lifts it and places it. I'll sleep in here to keep an eye on things and make sure everything's shipshape.
Ship shape like the ship we just came on.
Until time back.
I'll give you bottom book.
Sick.
Oh yeah.
How that works out.
Bart gets on the top bunk, sticks his hand out, and we go.
So Cyrus and Maverick, you guys know, as you walk in, Kiana and Lorik run towards the living room and set up. The Bart and Theo run into the bunk bed. Oh, I get bottom bunk. Yeah, finally we're off the boat. And there's one room and one bed left.
How could this be?
Oh no.
No.
What to do?
I guess we just have to share.
While they're staring at each other with heightened tension, Lorik goes, "Oh wait!" and he does a loud whistle, and the dog comes running. Rock comes running in, and Lorik lays on the floor, and Rock snuggles next to him. And now you guys can have your fun.
Amazing.
This was the only room available?
I mean, I guess. Man, it's a shame. Such a shame. And Maverick takes his stuff and he sets it in the room. There's no shame on his face. He is not upset about this arrangement at all.
I think that she looks everywhere else first, and she's like, I don't really want to sleep near them. And then she's like, I'm too tired for this. Who cares? And she just walks in the room and just throws her stuff down in the corner.
Incredible.
Which side do you want?
You think I really care? Just take your pick.
You're embarrassed.
If only we got here earlier.
You're upset that we're sharing a bed.
Did I say that? No. I said I wish I could sleep somewhere else without having to worry about someone snoring and keeping me up all night. I've heard you snoring.
I do not. I don't snore. That's not me. I'm too pretty for that. I don't snore.
Okay.
Man, whatever. And he's gonna sit on the edge of the bed. I think, like, his pre-bed time routine right now is staring at the debate notes as he just starts to really get himself anxious about this looming debate.
So as you all are getting ready for bed, all of you hear on the hotel door.
Did you
I'm
knock
sorry,
or
did you-
something? Or
I know. I'm so sorry.
okay.
You just, yeah.
All of you guys were looking at me like, so what
We were
happened?
waiting. We were waiting for a noise.
Yeah, what the fuck happened?
Hey.
I assume Lorik is closest to the door.
Probably. Would all of
Okay.
you kind of like glance out of your rooms as you see that someone has knocked and Lorik's gonna go answer it?
I mean, how
Cyrus is
late
probably
into the
on
night
her
is
way.
it? Yeah.
It's like nearing midnight.
So we were.
Yeah, Cyrus is definitely
getting
on
ready.
her way.
Yeah. I think I poke head outdoor.
Kiana has
Lorik-
like the cucumbers on her eyes, a towel on her head, and just completely unfazed by anything. Lorik, would you please fetch that?
Yes, of course. Lorik opens the door.
Okay, and everyone except for Kiana is looking then.
Yeah.
Great. Lorik you open the door, you see a hooded figure, a little bit of white hair peeking out, and as the doors open for her, she tosses the hood back, and Clementine is standing in your doorway. She goes, "Oh, thank God. Where's Vondel?"
Maverick, I think it's for you.
Where's Vondel? Did it already happen? She's a vampire. Did it already happen?
Yeah, it already
Yeah.
happened, Clementine.
You're a little late for that.
Theo, did you get turned?
No,
Okay, thank God.
I'm.
That part didn't happen.
Ah!
Well, it was unclear. It was showing me all these different possibilities. Sorry.
Bart,
Hi.
Bart, check my neck. Check my neck.
I don't see anything. I think you're good.
Her neck's fine.
Okay.
Sorry. I was having all these visions, all these different ending possibilities, and there was one where like Vondel disappeared, and there was one where Theo got turned though, and I was trying to get letters through to y'all. I was trying to get scrying and sending, and none of my magical communication efforts were getting to you all. My letters were returning back, and I felt like that was just some horrible omen that something bad was going to happen. So I grabbed Rick, and we've teleported across the world in one night. You can see, like, in the way that a spellcaster is after, like, she's out of spell slots, essentially, right? Like, she's just exhausted. She's like, okay, shit. She pulls something out of her bag, and it's like this potion bottle type thing, and she kind of gestures it a little bit towards Theo and goes, this is a vampiric cure. I brought it just in case you would have been turned. If you put it, make the person drink it who's been turned, it can be undone, and they won't have vampirism anymore. I guess hold on to that if you're still dealing. Did she die? What did happen?
No, she like teleported, and then we saw her carriage go away, and then I tried to get her, but I did not get the carriage.
Okay.
But she went away. And I know that there's a bunch of that she had all the monks.
Yes, and there's more.
Yeah,
she
there's
has them
more, yeah.
beneath all the other library. Did you know that? Did you find that out?
We found that out. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what. Yeah. And I told the monks that we rescued to go deal with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real. The two people that I put in charge of that. I don't really know how that's gonna go.
Uh,
I mean, I tried my best, but
I'll let you know if I get a vision about it. I
someone's
keep
gonna have
getting visions about ever since for the last month. I've gotten visions about this envoy almost every night, and sometimes it's something real harmless, like Maverick, congrats on the kiss, but and other times it's just like this, like Theo might die and get taken by, and so I never know what's true or what happened.
Wait, is that connected to the vampire? Or is that a different? Is that a
No,
different one? Like,
no, it's undead. I guess I'm sorry, it wasn't a separate one, just the vampiric one. But sometimes it was real silly things like Lorik, dog. I see that was true, but okay, you're all fine, I guess.
Did you have any about me?
Oh, Kiana, I can't say that one yet. I'm sorry. After it's come to pass, I'll admit to it. But I don't tell people things before they happen unless I see that it won't make it worse, and I don't want to interfere with something that might end up worse than it will.
Good.
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 She's drinking wine. Okay. Okay, good. Well, Cedric's sleeping in the carriage. We're gonna. There's no more rooms here, so we'll go try another inn, I guess. Maverick, can I grab you for a minute?
Yeah, that's fine.
She pulls you out just to the other, like right to the edge of the door. All of you can hear if you wish to. You guys are not out of sight, but she's just like, okay, so everything's fine. Nothing.
Everything went as fine as it could have gone.
Okay. I got your letter. I can't teleport back tonight, obviously. I'll stay until after the debate. We'll stay out of the way, don't worry. But I can talk to Afriel after if you still need me to. And I don't want you to do it before your debate, but he is here. And I think he'd like to talk to you after. Don't worry about it now, but it's just I'll throw that out there.
Is it a good idea to just drop this information on him and then go take my younger sister off to be wed?
I'm going to be really honest with you, Maverick. We've been worried about him for a while. We've talked about how we're worried that he might be inheriting your rage, and these last few weeks it's kind of turned out that these emotions that he's been having are kind of more just 10-year-old boy things, because he had his first vision a couple days ago.
Oh,
so he's not taking after you. He's taking
Oh,
after
thank God. Oh my God, thank God. Oh, I would hate to have a kid like me. Holy shit. I sucked. I was a little fucking...
I remember, yeah. But also that means that you have visions about the things that you care about. I'm having visions about this envoy because I care about what happens with it, and I don't want father of my son to die. He's gonna start having visions about the things he cares about, and he doesn't believe me that you're not his dad. So I think you have a window.
Yeah,
Where you
I think
and don't come back for a very long time. You have a window where he'll be excited to have his confirmation, to have his suspicions confirmed. But once that window closes, he'll be mad that you lied.
anyone. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell him. I heard the debate. I'll let him know. And and he like digs in his pocket and like pulls out his coin purse and pulls out enough for her and Cedric to get like a really nice room for the night. He's like, here, you take this. Get yourself somewhere to stay that's safe. Get yourself something to drink. Jesus. Oh, sorry, Imperium. And just stay safe. I mean, you're gonna stay for the debate, and that's kind of a boring ass way to spend your time.
I'm not going to that debate. I love you. I'm not going anywhere near that building.
I don't want to go either. So
well, you need to, so that I can keep getting these payments. And
all right. I mean,
we'll go stay the next town over. I don't want anybody to see your 6 foot tall son who looks exactly like you the day before your debate, the day of your debate. So,
yeah.
Maverick, he looks exactly like you.
No, he does. You don't have to keep reminding me.
Okay.
I can't help that our son is beautiful. I'm sorry.
He is beautiful. He is. Okay. God, I can't believe that it felt the ending where Vondel was successful and where Theo got turned. It felt so vivid. I thought that must have been the most likely one, but good. I mean, good if it wasn't. Let me know if anything happens with that.
That was the only ending that you saw. Was that one?
No, I saw the one that Theo described. It was more fuzzy, and normally the most clear one is the one that's most likely to happen, but any of them are possible.
All right. Well,
Did you see me fly? Sorry, I don't mean to. Did you see
Lord,
me fly?
have
was
you
it cool?
been here?
I'm sorry,
Lord,
Lord.
Lord.
I mean, you're right there.
Were you here? And Maverick turns around and just sees whoever's in there. He's like, okay.
No, I'll go back to sleep. I just
Hey,
was it cool?
Hey,
Did you see me fly?
you did not walk very far.
Well, I don't want the door to
That's
lock
true.
behind me.
Who would lock it?
They lock naturally. It's a motel.
Hey, what's a motel?
Stop right now.
All right, back where I'm from, we call them motels. Okay, that's what we call
the
the
same
inn.
place as you.
Well, shut up, Theo. Go to bed. Don't look me up.
Clementine like steps a little closer to the door, and is just like, okay, do you want me to talk to Afriel? I mean, was that legit or was that a joke?
Yeah, please. I cannot explain to my little sister, 15 years younger than me. I cannot explain to her sex. I told her I don't have sex. I told her I don't know what that means because I don't have sex.
She doesn't know? What?
We don't exactly. He leans in close and whispers, like, we don't exactly tell them. My family doesn't tell women where babies come from. You think they're gonna tell them about sex?
God, I'm glad I didn't marry you.
Well, okay. Well, me too.
Anyway.
Anyway, we're gonna rush past that. Shut up. No, you have to explain it to her. And if you could just
when you tell Cedric that you're his missing dad of 10 years, I'll explain sex to your sister. Good night. And she walks out of the room. Just like the most like we're in a JCPenney's parking lot doing co-parent kids switch off vibes right now. And
We just bought that kid a uniform for school.
yeah. You
All right.
you have to Venmo me $10. Yeah, so she leaves. Great. Anything else that we need to do in the inn tonight? Any other scenes that need to happen before the debate?
We
the
just have a
scene of
rager.
Maverick throwing up in the bathroom before the debate.
Awesome.
Cute.
Cyrus knocks on the door. Mav, you good?
Mm-hmm. I'm just I'm just doing my hair before we go to bed.
Okay. If you say so.
Yeah. He's fucking throwing up. There's nothing else I can say.
Anything else? Sorry, I'm chewing.
We throw a rager. I don't know.
What?
I'm kidding.
The kids
Tired.
throw a rager.
Yeah, me and Bart throw a rager in which we just don't go to bed.
You invite Kiana and
Yeah.
Lorik in, and you guys just like spin the bottle, but you never kiss. You just like high five if it lands on you.
Like, yeah.
Yeah!
I love high fiving.
I think Maverick and Cyrus go to bed. I'm sorry.
I think they go to bed.
I think they go to bed. Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe touch hands. I don't know.
Maverick just threw up. He has throw up mouth. He has throw up mouth.
There's teeth. Do toothbrushes exist, Joe? Since certain things don't. Okay, cool. He brushes.
I'm sorry that the hotel doesn't have automatically locking doors.
Dude, I really no because like I thought that would be a thing.
Hey, we don't have electricity.
Well, no,
either
'cause we have magic.
role play your romance scene or let me cut to the next day.
No,
No more
I
arguing
don't
about toothbrushes and locks.
I don't think any romance happens. If Cyrus was so annoyed at the room.
Damn, you on the edge of the bed.
You're about to fall.
Fall off.
Which one of you's on the edge of the bed right now?
Right answer.
He's sleeping as close. I will say he's sleeping as close to the edge of the bed as he can, just like
To not touch her bubble.
doesn't want to be in her bubble.
Awesome.
Cyrus is probably like going through her letters or something like that. I don't think she'd go to bed right away. She's probably like sitting on the bed going through her letters or something.
Awesome.
Y'all.
So we will cut to the next day. Long rest for everyone. If you used any spells, you can replenish those spell slots. If you lost any HP, you can regain that HP. And anything else that you used restarts the next day. If for any of my spellcasters, which is all of you now.
Nuh-uh. Just kidding.
Oh, sorry. Yes, but Key does also.
Yeah.
So it is now the first day of Emberglow. It has been 1 month exactly since you arrived in Imperia, and today's the debate. Varanthians, Cyrus and Bart. You two are at a point now. So, like, you know, we said when we landed in Mist Haven that it was like the beginning of fall, but it was already like dusting, snowing, right? It's a month later now. Right at a month later. We're into winter now. Or it's fall, but it is snowing. In Imperia, fall is snowing still. They have a very long period of winter months. It is snowing all the time, heavy snow on the ground, and both of you are at a point where you are constantly uncomfortably cold. I mean, like, you are wearing what you perceive to be your winter clothes, which is, like, similar to what the Empyreans are wearing. The Empyreans do not seem bothered by this cold. You are, like, constantly uncomfortably shivering. It is so uncomfortable for you. And the Abyssalians and the Empyreans, you notice that, like, Bart and Cyrus are very visibly shaking and uncomfortable how cold you are, as you guys are even just, like, getting ready the next day.
I think Maverick is gonna go up to Bart first. And and just kind of hand him an extra set of his, not an extra set, but like an extra regular coat he brought or had brought to him. I'm just kind of like, this is gonna be really big. Here you go.
Thank you.
Oh, kiddo.
He puts the coat on.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, you don't have to give that back. I don't need that. I'm good. And then Maverick, sorry, he's gonna make his way to Cyrus and is gonna pick up his like overcoat thing that he has, like that, whatever that, not a cape. You guys know what I'm talking about, the overcoat that you like clip. Cloak. Oh my god, cloak. A fucking cloak. A cloak you clip over your shoulders. He's gonna pick that up off the like one of the chairs and walk up to Cyrus and hook it around her shoulders and start to like button it up across her.
Whew. I don't know how you guys can stand this cold.
I like it. I mean, I like how it feels.
Does never gets this cold back at home. Thanks for the cloak.
I bet it doesn't. Yeah, it's. If anyone asks you, that's not real fur. That is fake fur. Because I got accused in one of my elections of hunting owlbears. So, I don't do that.
They would just assume it's mine, probably. So I think we're good.
That somehow makes it kind of worse. Yeah, you can keep that. I have coats, and I don't get cold during debates. I get really hot, and I want to shit my pants the whole time. So I won't be needing that. I wanted to tell you that, and I'll talk to the rest of them about the debate in general, but for you, I know you're gonna come up. So are you my girlfriend? Or are we just friends?
Oh, look at you getting all flustered.
I'm not flustered. I just need to know like the terminology I'm supposed to use during the debate.
You can say whatever you want, sweetheart.
Okay, cool, thank you. I just turn and quickly walk away.
It's stressing me out that there's food on a blanket.
It's stressing me out that there's food on a blanket.
I have to go. This was nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. We walk to Daily Ballroom, DALEY Ballroom, where the debate's going to be held. You're in District 6 right now, which is Senator Ulysses Marvin's territory, but he's offered this space for you all to debate so that you don't have to travel back to the Capitol when Mayor Smalls is already here. This is his hometown. So you guys are heading there. As you walk in, you see that Joel is standing near the entrance, looking around, like waiting for you to show up. And he goes, comes up, kind of grabs another hand, little hug, the Empyrean kiss on each cheek. Okay, awesome. Good. Glad to see you all made it. Bart, can I actually grab you for a minute?
What? What?
You're not in trouble. Nothing's wrong. Can I
Me?
grab you for a minute? Yeah.
Okay.
Can Cyrus stand like close enough to where she might be able to hear?
Yeah, he's just stepping a couple steps away. So, listen, you're big in Imperia. Like, people care, what you think. So, as you're milling
Okay.
about,
That's nice. Yeah.
right, and so as you're milling about today, just if you meet any fans, maybe let them know that you'll be that like if you were Empyrean, you would be voting to Shad, because they care what you think, and a celebrity endorsing a politician, that's a really powerful tool for change, and it brings a lot of people who maybe wouldn't vote or wouldn't be educated voters before, kind of into the loop a little bit. Does that seem?
Oh, you want me to endorse? You want an endorsement for Maverick?
Yes. Just as you're kind of flitting about tonight, if you could, like when we don't need like a concert or performance or anything like that, but just if you could, as you're talking to people are going to be asking like, oh, you're on this envoy with Chashad, like, what's he like? And just if you could, stick to the good things about Maverick, because he is I know, can be a little prickly, but he's a great politician and he's great at what he does. So it's important to get him back in office. And I think that you could be a great tool in that.
I see. It's interesting that you think I was going to support him in the first place.
So you're not eligible to vote in the Empyrean election. You are not an Empyrean, but it's sort of, you do go on this envoy with him. So I did assume that you think he's okay.
Interesting. What do I get out of this?
I cannot pay you
for free endorsement.
I cannot pay you to endorse one way or the other. That would be election tampering. So I'm not doing that.
Interesting.
I'm just acting you. Allow me to rephrase. If you were Empyrean, would you vote for Don Smalls or for Maverick Tashad III?
I don't know who that other guy is, so.
So who would you vote for?
I'm just fucking with you. I'll vote for Maverick.
Okay. Woo! I was really about
I just think it's funny when you talk fast.
Like, listen, what I'm trying to do is please endorse him. But I thought I was going to have to back up and be like, well, I can't encourage you to endorse one way or the other, but, it's important to be transparent in our voting. Anyway, thank you. Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah, no. I was just fucking with you. Of course I want to support my man. That's my boy. That's my dog.
Thank you. Okay, great. Awesome. Maverick, you also see that Joel's here. Grandfather and Afriel are here. Afriel's on your grandfather's arm, and they're floating around talking a little bit. Afriel looks over and sees you and breaks off of grandfather's arm. Brother, today's the day.
How are you?
I'm incredible. I have so many more letters to show you. She kind of looks over her shoulder at grandfather. I have so much more happened.
Okay, and he kind of like he's hugging her and kind of just ties her away from grandfather, and does what he always does and puts his hand on the back of her head and goes, "If these letters are inappropriate, I don't want to see them."
No, they're not. I would never do anything untoward. No, she's so charming. I mean, she's seen the world and she has things that she can't wait to show me. And I mean, she talks of the castle that's currently under construction in the swamplands, and they're making a map, brother, of the swamplands so that they'll be able to navigate anywhere within the island.
Oh, well, that's good to hear that you're getting along. I was worried this would be
there. I've never ridden a horse.
Yeah, I guess you haven't. Well, did you get the money about getting more gear?
Yes, Joel gave it to me, and I sent my handmaiden out, and she got me equestrian gear, and it's pants.
Yes, you do. Well, Peanut, why would you wear a dress to ride a horse? You've never ridden one. Okay, well, I'm glad. Grandfather isn't giving you trouble, is he?
He's being very gentlemanly. He's just been introducing me to some diplomats and things.
Okay.
Is
Uh,
Kiana here?
yeah. Yeah, she's here.
Okay, bye. And she
Okay.
goes over to Kiana and just starts to gossip with Kiana. Princess, you are not going to believe. And just starts to like very sneakily like show you some letters, some juicy letters, and you guys are standing off to one side, like yeah. Joel stops by Maverick one more time. Cyrus, I think I assume you're probably standing somewhat close to Maverick. Awesome.
Yep.
Joel comes over. Okay, you need any stress relief for the debate, or you're good?
Oh, I thought we were done doing that. I already told you we're done doing that.
Maverick.
Oh.
Emotions. Calm emotions.
Right. No, I think I'll be good.
Okay.
I'm sorry for assuming.
No,
I just
please.
okay.
Maverick, Cyrus, can I pull you guys into a room for a minute, please?
Sure.
If you go with him, he'll pull you into a room. Maverick, did you already talk to her about what to expect?
A little bit.
Okay.
Well, I mean, not what to expect. I had other things to talk about. Cyrus, one thing that's gonna come up besides our relationship is your alleged things that you do. All alleged. There's no proof behind any of it, and so there's no facts, but it is gonna come up. So just be prepared for people to attempt to talk to you about it, or you're gonna see me get questioned about it.
Should have expected it. I mean, we got lucky at the ball. It's gonna come up sooner or later.
Yes, and because none of it is all of it's speculation, just treat it as such. If anyone asks you anything, says anything, it's all speculation. You're here on this envoy with Bart, and you're Bart's security guard. There's nothing more to that.
I wonder if that's the case. If you should just refer to me as my last name. You can use it. It's just Bowen.
Owen, you want me to use that instead of Sarah?
Well, I think what
I
she's
don't know.
saying is to use it in tandem with her first name.
You know,
Sarah's
rather-
Owen.
Cyrus the Executioner. No, Cyrus
Rather than
Bowen.
using this alleged street name, we should be professional.
Well, I can most certainly do that. But if I get questioned about our relationship, you're still fine with me stating that you are my partner.
Whatever you want to say.
Okay, so now's not the time to be coy. I do need you to give him a direct answer, just so that consent is sort of cleared across where we
Yes,
won't have to
that's
go off quickly.
fine.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Joel.
Of course, Ms. Bowen. Incredible. Well, Maverick, you received the outline and the talking notes, yes?
Yes.
Great. Any questions for me?
I'm going to not do any of it. I'm kidding. I'm gonna do it. I got it. Understand.
Did you see
One
how
thing I
I
had to ask.
even change? Because I know you. Yeah.
All right, sassy pants. One thing before we get this debate going. Do you know if Don Smalls, he's married. He's a married man. We both know that. Arranged? Dowry? Was that used?
There have been bank statements of a transfer of money shortly after their union. but it would be hearsay to say arranged or any kind of dowry. And even if it was, I mean, a bride price or a dowry is not necessarily indicative of being arranged. A dowry is still tradition, even if it is a love match, just to have a trust fund set aside for the woman in case something happens to her husband.
Okay. I mean, it's gonna come up because I'm gonna talk about it.
Okay. Let him hit low first. It's a bad look for you.
No. Here's the thing, Joel. And I'm telling you this right now because I don't want to look out into the crowd and you're passed out because I went off the notes. I will not hit low on anything else unless it comes to women. And frankly, the man stands for nothing when it comes to women. He has made no clear stance on women's rights, on women's ability in the higher sex to be able to marry on their own. So I'm gonna hit low on that. How can I not?
Totally fine. You are the senator, so you do as you wish. I'm meant only to guide you, but it is your choice and your choice alone what you say as soon as you enter the debate room. You will not be allowed counsel in between any of the segments with myself or any of the rest of the team. He will not be allowed any as well. You'll have a cup of water and a piece of parchment and a quill and inkwell to take notes on. No other materials or prep can go in with you. There will be 3 segments. We'll be talking about social issues, education, and crime. You'll also get a cross section, and you lost the coin toss, so he will get to begin on 2 of the 3 issues, but you will get to do your introductory statement first, and you will get to do your conclusion statement last. So you have that final resonating note to leave with the viewers.
All right.
Excellent. Okay. He starts to walk you all out, and as you're about to re-enter, one second, Kiana. Very briefly, just as you're walking out, he goes, also more personal note, just thought you should know, that I've been courting someone.
Oh! Man or woman?
Lady Dara Hawthorne. I don't know if you know the Hawthorne family, they're, good, reputable. Dara is 27 and some change and nearing spinster, and she desires a husband, and I guess what you said resonated with me. It is time to grow up. So
Awesome. I hope that you love her.
we're very good friends.
All right, Joel.
Awesome. Let's get him. Bart, Theo, and Lorik. Kiana, if you want to. Up to you.
Hey,
You decide
Lori,
if you want to do this or not.
you're so tall today.
Thank you.
Dang, Lorik. You kind of look. Are your biceps getting bigger?
You know, I think
They're
so.
so
I think
big.
wow. Thanks, guys. I know.
You look good.
Good job, Lorg.
Kiana, do you have something that you wanted to say before I cut to this next part?
Yeah, so Kiana walks up to Maverick and, Maverick, if I will,
Yeah, what's up?
can you kneel, please?
Yeah. And he kneels before her.
And she does, and, like, gets a little, like, dirt off her cheek, pushes your hair back out of your eyes a little bit. Are a formidable and wise senator. You are going to do amazing. She gives him a hug, and whether if Maverick knows this or not, as she gives the hug, she slips Germ in his pocket to give him the help action whenever he would need it.
Maverick I will say probably doesn't know that that's what you're doing. And he's just like, Kiana, oh my gosh, princess. And he hugs her, rubs her back, he's like, alright, and remember what we talked about? Networking. This is your time to shine, alright? You can talk about me if you want, or don't, and just network. I'm fully for it. Do whatever you want.
Will do. I'm so excited for this. Good luck, Maverick. She like
Thank you.
turns around and
So Kiana goes off to network. I love that. Bart, Theo, and Lorik. The three people who most of all don't know what they're doing here, I'd say.
Yeah.
Cyrus, I think you're sticking near Maverick, whatever that means. Kiana, you have a very clear goal in mind. Afriel and Grandfather are making a turnabout the room again. Bart, Theo, Lorik. You guys see near where the debate will happen, up near the stage, there's a table, and standing at it is a tiefling man who's just like tall, lanky, big, spiky, like evil scientist hair. And Bart, you have not seen another tiefling in Imperia yet. So strange. And he's like clumsily trying to open this sack full of spell components and like scribe materials like parchment and inkwell. And he's just like, oh jeez. And just really struggling to get his things set up here.
This stuff's just everywhere.
It's ever like there's ink spilled on the table. He's like, no.
Oh god.
Oh,
I'll pick
he's having a
up
tough
like a
time.
scroll from the ground and be like,
Yeah, I'll pick up like some of the ink that fell off. Like, hey, buddy, you doing good? Are you good?
Thanks.
Do you need help?
Thank you. Oh god, my hands are covered in ink. Just set it down. I'm sorry. Hey, thanks. I'm Dandy. Nice to meet you.
I'm Bart.
Bart.
I'm Theo.
Theo. And you?
I'm Lorik.
Lorik. Yeah. You guys are in on the Envoy, right?
Yeah.
I'm the moderator for tonight's debate, so I was trying to get set up, and it's really hard to get it all open. And then the cap came off my ink, and it's just like a lot.
Do you need all that stuff?
Well, you never know, right? Because, like, what if they say something really interesting, and I want to write it down so that I remember to ask a question later? Or it's like, and like my type of spells don't need spell components, but what if I needed spell components? So I just packed some of those too, and it's just, this is my first time moderating a debate. I usually do them in Varanth, and they kind of work a little different. So this is my first time doing like a real democratic one.
Yeah.
Why are you here then? No, not to be rude. Was that rude?
Wow.
A little bit, but
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just the moderator usually does it canceled, and I was already in town for like a diplomat thing with Varanth and Imperia, and anyway, so they asked me if I'd fill in, and it was kind of last minute, but I kind of said sure. So, Dandy Port. I don't know if you've heard of me.
Dandy Port. Have I heard of you?
yeah.
Oh, Bart
I
said
haven't heard of a lot of people, so don't feel bad.
yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, a lot of my knowledge is really limited to monk knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's all I really know.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I mean, I'm super excited for the debate tonight. Senator Tashada is an excellent rhetorician, and just being able to watch him perform live, it's cool, but like, I've gotten to work with Mayor Smalls, and he's also a great rhetorician. I've never like met either of them like personally, but super cool.
Yeah, super exciting.
In my head, I think of all the things that Maverick has done, and I'm also trying to think of what a rhetorician is.
And
Yeah.
he goes, and it's just really interesting. And you can tell, like, this just seems like a man who's nervously rambling, and he's setting up and stuff. He's like,
Yeah.
it's really interesting because, like, everybody's been talking about how Senator Tashad's like date at that formal was like somehow connected to like the executioner or something. But that's ridiculous because I mean
that is
I-
ridiculous.
I shouldn't really be talking about it, but like one of my family members hired the executioner in Varanth, and like I don't really talk to that side of the family, but they hired the executioner, and he like the executioner's a man, so that would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Me and Bart share.
Interesting.
Me, Bart, and Lorik share long eye contact. You said your name was Dandy Port?
Dandy Port, yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
moderator for.
You got a nickname?
Everyone's just kind of called me Dandy. It fits my demeanor and go-getter attitude.
Yeah.
Boy, hey.
You know
I put
what
a
it
hand- I
does.
put a hand on his shoulder. It does.
Awesome. Cool. Are you guys like, I don't know, doing anything at the debate, or you're just kind of watching, or like, are you part of Maverick's team, or?
It's more like we are on a team with Maverick more than us being on Maverick's team.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. That makes sense.
We're on the Envoy.
Yeah. I did know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
I'm here with the Frog Princess. She's
Yeah, Princess
some-
Kiana,
she's
that's
somewhere.
Bailey.
she's
Yeah,
somewhere around here.
she's
She's,
awesome.
She's networking.
Yeah, she's
Have you
awesome.
met her?
I haven't met her, but I've heard that she's awesome.
We can get you to meet her.
Oh, don't tease me, please.
She's really cool.
Why would it? No, we can go. Where's? I look around for Kiana.
Yeah, do you want to meet Kiana? She's really nice.
She's literally walking around right now.
Yeah. I'd love to. Wow, a chance to meet a princess. Sure, yeah.
Cut my hands, Kiana.
Oh, you can't see. Like, it's like a sea of people, and you can't see her at all because she's so short. But you just hear hold that thought, just a minute, and then like moving through. Hello, hi.
Oh,
Hey, Kiana, meet our new friend guy,
It's Dandy.
Dandy.
he fully kneels so that he's shorter than you. Takes your hand, presses a long kiss to it. Your Honor. I mean, Your Majesty.
I whisper
Your
that.
Highness. It is such an honor to meet you. I've heard so much about you, and just sort of the political implications of how you're taking over, some of these diplomatic duties from your father. It's really a beautiful narrative of just kind of how you're like slowly taking over some of these duties before you fully take over your father's office. I'm sorry. It's so nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you. It's so lovely to finally have someone here in Imperia that knows so much about Abyssinian culture and knows what
Totally.
I've done. It's quite the change.
Awesome. Yeah, totally. Wow. Well, anyway, I think the speakers are about to begin, and I have to finish setting up all these spell components I might not need. But it's nice to meet you guys. You should, like, if you're from Varanth or whatever, just like stop by my office.
Yeah, of course.
The office of Dandy Port.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And he turns back, and you guys are welcome to continue to flit about the room.
I'm gonna adopt that man.
Isn't he great? Before the debate begins and the candidates are pulled into a separate room, everyone is watching as Maverick Rashad Sr. takes the stage and heads up to this arcane microphone kind of thing. And this is being broadcast on all the holocubes throughout the room. And he said, he goes, all right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Maverick Rashad Sr. Been seeing that name everywhere, I bet, with Senior, and fortunately my son's passing a few weeks ago, and my grandson, his re-election here. I thank you all very much for coming out, and thank you to Ulysses Marvin for allowing us to use this fine facility. Just a quick word before we get into the announcements of the candidates tonight. my grandson and I might disagree on a few things over the course of our times as senators running adjacently, or even as a Council of Elder member versus a District 1 senator. But one thing that we do have in common is that we both fight for what we believe in, and we're both damn determined to do whatever it takes to do what we believe is right for the people of Imperia. And that's a good quality to have. I've been in politics for 60 years, and some change now. I don't want to reveal my age there, but it's been good work. It's been hard work. It's been long work. And today, as I encourage you to vote to Shad, I'm also letting you know that I'm going to be stepping down and retiring from the Council of Elders. It's been a long, good run, and it's been nice to have 1 to 4, last name Tashad be on a ballot at a time, but I'm tired, y'all. It's hard being the age that I am, and I wish that I had retired when my darling wife was still here so that I could spend that time with her, but I think I've maybe there was some more good that I could have done, but I think I'm going to do one selfish thing, and that's retire. So I am appointing Porter Grash in my place on the Council of Elders, and he's a fine man. He's a good man with the Empyrean values straight in his heart. And maybe in 4 years, Maverick Tashad III will take up a Council of Elders election, but for now, I encourage you to do the right thing. Do the same thing that you've done for the last 12 years. Tashad is the name that comes to people's minds when they're asked to think of a politician. We asked 100 people, name a politician, and one of them, talking about one of the 4 of us, named Tashad. If you're thinking politics, think Tashad. If it ain't broke, and you see the crowd, don't fix it. Yes. Thank you all very much, not only for your attendance tonight, but for your support over the last 60 years. And I've said this in many different contexts, but tonight I'll say, vote Tashad III. And your grandmother steps off stage. Rejoins Afriel on the side of the room. And you see that Joel takes the stage right after. Thank you, Maverick scene, and obviously the room erupts in emotion and clapping. They all love him. Joel takes the stage, very just thank you very much, Maverick Senior. What a tearful goodbye. You certainly left a legacy on Imperia. Well, my name is Joel Bramblin. I've had the honor of serving Tashad III for 10 years. After the tragic loss of his brother, Cedar Tashad, Maverick stepped up, took his office, and asked me to be his advisor. I work with the most passionate man that truly cares about the people of Misthaven and the surrounding area, and under the 3rd Tashad administration, we have passed 36 bills, signed 4 pieces of legislation into law, and all in 2.5 terms. Most recently, the senator has embarked on an Arcanian envoy piloted by Governor Garrick Arcanum to help find out what happened to his son, Tandem Arcanum. Our opponents, even the Tashads that came before Maverick, came with a lot of hopes into their campaign. This is why Maverick III is distancing himself from the Tashad legacy. Senior lied to you. Junior took advantage of you, and Cedar ran out of time. Don Smalls brings hopes to his campaign that he will spew to you tonight. The Tashad III administration believes that hope is too flimsy. We intend, we plan, we do. We know that your children are not fed off of hope. The Enchanted Forest is not rebuilt off of hope. Your women are not elevated off of hope. Don't vote to Shad out of habit or out of hope for a better future. Vote out of trust that Maverick III has a plan and he will execute it to the best of his ability and better than before now that he is not under the oppressive regime of his father and grandfather. Thank you. And he steps off, and we're going to enter into a rumor phase now. Maverick and Don Smalls are escorted into the other room. All of these that I'm about to read that are presented by the world are scandals. We are in a room full of the most highly influential people. All of these are scandals. And we're in a highly political environment where everybody cares about what's about to be talked about. Danica, I'm going to deafen you for all of these because you are not in the room. You do not hear any of these. So, here are the rumors that are being flitted about the room tonight that all of you except for Maverick hear.
And they're scandals.
And these are all scandals. So even if you use your rumor turn to squash one, it can only get it down to regular rumor tonight. Lorik, the son of Governor Garrick Arcanum, led a group of Abyssalians in a battle to help the druids in the forest and suffers no casualties. People are wondering more and more if that rumor about him being a weapon genetically manufactured by Abyssalia might reign true. Theo. After saving the monks from imprisonment, the one true monk is rumored to have received special blessing from the monk god Rindoshi, and now has the monks operating as free agents outside of the Holy War, under her new guidance. Kiana. The princess was called to return home to Abyssalia, but refused her father's wishes. Some have speculated that this is related to Sir Tobert's confirmation that the princess is damaged goods, and unfit for marriage because of it. Bartolomeo. Bartolomeo has been spraying orphan children in Varanth with water as a form of public embarrassment. In fact, there's a HoloCube broadcast of him doing it.
Hey, can I hear that one again?
Sure. Bartolomeo has been spraying orphan children in Varanth with water as a form of public embarrassment. In fact, there's a HoloCube broadcast of him doing it. Bart, you get a moment to respond here, because not only do you hear people say this about you, that you're spraying orphans in Varanth with water, but you hear that there's a HoloCube broadcast of you doing it. And I think that, like, you even see, like, two people looking at a HoloCube and, like, watching something and being like, I can't believe Bart would do this. So you are welcome to interact with these people as you see them do that.
I'm gonna go up to those people and, like, look over their shoulder to watch that HoloCube, because what?
Awesome. Give me a perception check.
Bart just laughs at it.
I'm really thrown up.
Yeah, man, I wish Danica could hear this.
Shit. I'm sorry.
I will read them to Danica after the debate's over, but they don't get to metagame.
I feel like Danica should be allowed to hear this one.
Okay. Hold on.
Because it doesn't matter.
Okay. Hold on one second. Danica, you get to hear one, because this does not affect your debate, and it's really funny. Here's Bart's rumor. Ready?
Yeah.
Bartolomeo has been spraying orphan children in Varanth with water as a form of public embarrassment. In fact, there's a HoloCube broadcast of him doing it. And
Why the fuck is that a rumor?
And Bart just rolled a 19 on a perception check to watch as somebody's watching the broadcast. Bart, you look over this person's shoulder, and you see that there is someone that looks strikingly similar to you, and they are spraying like a water spell and just dousing these orphans in the streets of Varanth, and like pointing at them and taunting and laughing. And this guy looks like you can tell, like, facially, he looks a lot like you. Like, he's like your doppelganger, and he's dressing like you and clearly trying to pretend like he is you.
What? Who the heck is this? What is this? I haven't been in Baran. Like, what? Who is this?
No, I'm sorry. Please don't spray us with water.
I can't do that. What? No, I can't do that.
That's your roommate.
Why would I do that?
Danica's being deafened again.
Why would I?
Okay.
That's so
Cyrus.
funny.
Since Cyrus, rumored to have a connection to the Executioner, a crime lord in Varanth, was brought to Senator Tashad's ball as his date, people have been wondering what to make of this romantic entanglement. Is Cyrus hired to make a hit on Tashad's political enemies? Is she carrying his bastard child and there's going to be a betrothal announced soon to cover it up? Or is she pulling Tashad into more criminal matters? There you go. This is what you all hear about Maverick, and this is being spread by the Don Smalls team. The Don Smalls campaign team is telling these rumors. And not even a rumor necessarily, but this is kind of what they're saying about him as they float about the room. What even is this envoy that Maverick Tashad III has claimed takes up so much of his time? Does Tashad care more about the affairs of the Empire than of the interests of the Empyrean people? Tashad III vanished into the Enchanted Forest for the majority of his campaigning process, leaving most of it to his advisor, Joel Bramblin. If Tashad is so committed to skirting his responsibilities and showing up right before the debate, why should District 1 vote for him? After all of this, the people are wondering if they should be writing Joel Bramblin onto that ballot instead, since that's the only person they've heard from so far. And finally, this is the rumor that you all hear about Don Smalls. And this is spread by the Tashad team. Joel is spreading this one. Whether it be a strange vendetta against the Tashad family, a distaste for Maverick's pro-women policies, an issue he has stayed silent on, or a deep-seated dislike for the city he hails from, Silvermist, Don Smalls has decided to leave the country behind and try for the big leagues. This is an awfully big ask for a man who has never been anywhere or seen anything. Does Don truly think he has what it takes to serve the needs of the capital, or is he distracted by the penthouses and promises of wealth? The people are starting to think that this big jobs can't be handled by Smalls. Awesome. I'm going to undeafen Danica. Guess who's back?
Back again.
Back again.
Cool.
Mommy.
No.
Mm-mm.
Didn't like that.
I
So,
loved it.
Jesse. So, all of you except for Maverick are going to enter into a rumor phase, essentially. We're going to cut back and forth between the debate, where Danica and I are literally going to debate, and a rumor phase. How this is going to work? You get to do two things on your turn. You can do a normal rumor phase thing. So, present, squash, elevate, rumor. You can't really elevate any of these. They're already scandals. And you will do one of those, and you will use either your personal stories or your political sway to convince people to vote for Maverick. And you'll tell me how you do so. You'll roll a persuasion check. If you pass my DC, you're going to roll 1d100 and tell me how many votes that adds for Tashad. Don Small's team is going to be doing the same thing.
Fuck you.
So it will be a vote off. The Holocubes begin. You can all watch this debate. You cannot interact with it. You guys are in a separate room now watching. Maverick, you see Don Smalls standing at his podium already. Don is a halfling man who is wearing an Abraham Lincoln top hat. He has a clean-shaven but older face, thinning blonde hair. He's like in human years in his like 50s, 60s, somewhere around there. Halfling man wearing a tight pinstripe suit, and he is standing on a really tall stool so that he looks about the same height that you do behind the podium. And you see that stop it right now. You see that as you're walked into the room, Dandy is setting up his thing still. And sit down and goes, Senator, good to see you. I mean, I'd come over and shake your hand, but I can't exactly get down. You mind meeting me?
Right, and Maverick meets him and shakes his hand.
Thank you very much. You guys take your place at the podium, and see that Dandy goes, awesome. So now we're all kind of like in our places. Welcome to the Empyrean District 1 Senatorial debate. We're here with our two candidates, both representing the Progressive Party, Maverick III and Don Smalls. So both have had time to prep with their teams before, but they won't be able to see their teams again until after. He goes over the rules of the debate again, which is what Joel went over with you earlier. Coin toss, who won what. And so our topics for the evening are social issues, education, and crime. But first we're gonna start with some introductions, so which is really cool. So Senator, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself first. Cast silence on Dawn. And he also says that when it's not your turn to speak, silence will be cast on you.
Well, alright. As previously mentioned, I am Maverick Tashad III. I'm running for re-election. I am part of the Progressive Party, as previously stated. My primary platforms are that the rebuilding of the Enchanted Forest and women's progression in our society.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much, Senator. And Mayor Smalls, if you wouldn't mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a simple man. I'm happy to be here today in the town of my mayoral stint and having a good conversation and lively debate with the Honorable Senator. Thank you again to Senator Ulysses Marvin for allowing us to host the District 1 debate out here in District 6. The people call me Mayor Don Smalls. And I've served the town of Silver Mist for 25 years. I have a wonderful wife, Cardina, and two strapping young boys. One a part of the Empyrean military, and one who just graduated from the Wizard Academy. I know that's not what we're here to talk about today, but let me brag on my boys for a minute. I'm representing the Progressive Party, as previously stated. And I'm angling for less government intervention in district affairs, tightening up on crime, funneling money into infrastructure, raising taxes on the rich, funding more secondary education and martial training like military schools and monk academies, and more respect for the working class. Oh, awesome. Great. So let's just hop straight into the debate issue number 1. Mayor Smalls, you're going to get to go first here. We're talking about social issues here, and so we want to hear mostly about your kind of views and policies regarding the forest fire in the Enchanted Forest that's just recently happened, as well as your view on women's progression. Mayor, you go first. I was devastated to hear about what has happened in the Enchanted Forest. And my condolences and prayers to Senator Tashad for witnessing it and to the displaced Druid refugees that have been affected. I believe that gathering volunteers to clean up the destruction within the forest is crucial. But even more than that, now is the time to direct governmental funding into infrastructure. With better constructed roads that go around the Enchanted Forest, the foot traffic and consequent loss due to individuals falling victim to the pixie populations within that would lessen severely. And with that, destruction like this would not occur. Awesome. Okay. Rescinds the silence on you, casts on Dawn. And Senator, your 2 minutes begin now.
Well, as someone at the front lines of the forest, the Enchanted Forest and its destruction, I can certainly say that I did see a lot of things that will age a man 20 years. I want to funnel more governmental funds into rebuilding the Enchanted Forest. And while I do agree with Smalls wishing to put funds into diverting traffic around the Enchanted Forest, I do not see that as our primary goal here. I do agree that we should work towards that, but that's not the primary goal here. We are looking at people who have been displaced, who are refugees now. That should be our primary goal with the Enchanted Forest. And to touch on something that Smalls did not touch on, women's progression. Now, that's a rather important topic I like to talk about. It is commonplace in the upper sex of the wealthier in Imperia to have brides, to accept dowries for these women as if they are objects, to be placed with certain men deemed higher than me or Smalls here. I would like to funnel sources into stopping that. We're becoming a society where the individuals, the foundation, women as the foundation of our society, can be individuals as they should be, not used as trophies and barters for higher families to get the more funds and stature that they wish to gain. And if elected, that's something that I would much rather see us as a society move towards.
Awesome. Mayor, you get time to respond here. Dawn Smalls. Well, as for the topic of women, I don't think that there's anything left to say. Of course, I value the contributions that women make to our society. I'm married to a woman. My sons are married to women. I will not tolerate any statement being made about my lack of comment on women's rights in this honorable debate. Right now, tackling women's issues is really not my place. Right? When I'm your senator, women of District 1, I will see to it that we hear your concerns, that we listen to your voices. Until then, we certainly don't need to listen to my opponent. Maverick Tashad talks about about the supposedly radical ways he treats the women in his life beyond what society deems to be proper, but that's not reflected in what we know about him. We know that he has defiled many of the fair young women in all levels of society. We know that he has never publicly courted, but somehow has had several scandals regarding alleged pregnancies or even children. Not to mention his own sister has been married off to a woman in the swamplands. It doesn't seem like Maverick Tashad really cares that much about these alleged bride prices. Folks, his actions don't line up with the opinions he states. Maverick Tashad does politics the same way he does women. Behind closed doors. You deserve truth. Awesome. You both have silence cast on you this moment. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. And with that, we'll move on to issue number 2, which is education. And we move into rumor. Theo, you're up first for rumors.
What up?
And you have seen this much of the debate thus far.
Yeah. We're about to talk about education. Who am I sitting near? What's this vibe?
Would you have sat yourself, and you don't have to be sitting, like the room is very much people milling about and watching this big screen. Would you try to be sitting near somebody that you don't know, like an NPC, like a governmental kind of NPC or something?
I don't know if I would have been that conscious enough. Maybe I am. I think it might be more of like a if I'm standing with Bart and Lorik and Kiana, if they went off to go like talk to someone else, I still was standing there and I was like look at the nearest person, I'm like, you hear about the monks going missing?
Yeah. Aren't you?
Yeah, I found them. Me and Maverick found them.
What do you mean found them?
So there's a vampire.
You tell the story.
Yeah, tell the story.
You find out that you're sitting next to Westerly Davis, which is the senator of District 5. And he is a progressive senator. He's just been elected. He's a newly elected.
Is that good?
Progressive is the same one.
Yay! Okay.
Yeah. It's progressive or traditional.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And
he's very interested in what you have to say.
Right. One more question. What district is it that we found the monks in? Quote unquote. My motive is I want to know if it's Smalls' district.
No, it was 5. The district that you're in now is on the right of the mountains is District 6. The other side is District 5 or 4. It should be 5. Which is this guy's district.
Yeah. So yeah, we found him.
That's just, and yeah, he talks to you for a minute. Is this your attempt to garner votes, or is this your attempt to, or are you gonna squeeze a rumor in here?
I kind of just want to see. I think it'll be a rumor, because how much? If Don Smalls, if he cares so much about education, is he gonna talk about that? Is he gonna know what happened? No. Was he on the ground finding the monks? He wants to open up more monk academies. He didn't even go and find the ones that were missing. Boom.
Okay, so word your rumor for me in a sentence.
That's a really good question. Give me one moment to load a sentence in my brain.
Mm-hmm. And if you want this to double as like you roll your persuasion here too and try to get votes for Maverick too, I'll allow that.
Yeah, I think it'll also count as Maverick because he was there. He was there with me. I'll say that it's a matter of rumor about Don Smalls, and it's like if he cares so much about the education and opening up more martial opportunities, then why was he not concerned what was he doing to get the monk students found? Why did it take one of the students to step in and find him instead of a government man?
Okay.
And I'm doing persuasion?
Yeah, persuasion DC 15. You, Abi Nelson, can know that I don't know how well this rumor will stick in a room full of government officials because he is the mayor of a small town in a district that did not have this issue. But Theo Holloway does not know that, and you can certainly talk about it and use this to garner votes as well. So roll that.
No, I think this is just my rumor, and if I get a chance to speak again, I'm just gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna be like, okay. This happened like 2 days ago. Right. 18 on the die, dirty 20.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll 1d100 and tell me what you get.
And I will. 21.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're...
Bart, that is you. Give me a rumor phase and then tell me how you're getting more votes for Maverick.
Sorry.
Muted, baby girl.
I need to squash this narrative that I'm out here spraying orphans. Because what the hell? I don't even know how to go about that. I guess I'll...
I did not spray those orphans.
I did not do that.
That's not me, guys.
I guess I'll try to find those people that are watching the holocube and like ask them. I don't know. I try to persuade them, like, guys, it's not me. The only thing that I've sprayed with water is those fires in the Enchanted Forest. Alright? I saved that forest with water. I didn't spray no orphans, alright?
You know who was also
I didn't
there
do that.
with me?
My God.
Beautiful.
Good guy, good guy.
That's worst.
So a reminder, that is currently a scandal. So when you squash it, that gets it down to a rumor level. And that's essentially you going like, that's not me. And them going, I see you. Like, but they can also see that this is live and you're here. So it's like a,
It's live?
Wait, it's live?
the holocube is a broadcasting device. It broadcasts things live.
Guys,
That's actually
I'm right
insane.
here.
Someone
I'm
who's
right
pretending to be
here.
guard is actively spraying children. As this
I need to,
debate
like-
happens.
Okay, roll a DC 15 persuasion check.
A DC 15? What did you just say to me? What?
Roll a persuasion check, you need to hit a 15.
Oh,
What did you just say to me?
natural 20.
Ooh.
Nat 20. Nat 20!
Aww. Okay, Nat 20 is incredible. Go ahead and roll 5d100. So for that, you're going to take both of the two that look the same.
Okay, I don't have my actual dice with me right now.
Okay, just look up on the internet, roll d100, or look up
Roll-
Google, roll 5d100.
500 votes.
Could be.
334.
Nice. This is very effective. You're going around and you're saying, that's a broadcast. Could I have possibly? No, I'm right here. The only people, and you're very charming. Everybody really likes you. Going around and being like, the only thing that I'm spraying with water is those forest fires in the Enchanted Forest. And you know who else was there with me? Maverick shot. And they're like, that's awesome. And you can sense that, like, a lot of people are really latching onto that. Awesome. Good job, Bart. We cut back into the debate. Dandy goes, okay, so next is education. Senator Maverick, you'll get to go first on this one. And just talking about like what your values in education are and the emphasis on wizard versus martial education and just kind of anything about education that you would bring into your campaign if reelected. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'd like to just comment real quick about my opponent. First and foremost, let's just make it clear. My opponent has just shown how he views women's plats as a political jab in what was once an orderly debate. Well, I won't get into that. Just a punch and point. When it comes to education, I do agree that martial training programs are important. And so are wizardly training programs. However, I do not agree with just funneling money into monk schools. We've seen what that has done. We've seen what has done for our society. I'm not the cream of the crop when it comes to Imperia. I was a dumb martial kid. All I wanted to do was fight and learn how to fight and do my best doing that. I wasn't wise. I didn't read books. I didn't sit in rooms and talk about the things I did and talk about what we could do. I always wanted to do. However, when it comes to education in Imperia, I want there to be more choices for these young kids. I mean, I have had the pleasure of traveling with one of the smartest, most well-adjusted kids, Theo. She is just a wonder. I'm amazed by her perseverance and all that has happened to her. I mean, just before this, we had to go and save. She had to go and save a bunch of her classmates found under a library taken over by their principal. And there could have been something we could have done. There could have been one of us in higher power who could have done something. And yet we didn't. Right? Because up until now, as a nation, all we've done is sit in rooms and talk. Sit in boardrooms and chat with each other. We haven't actually done nothing. So when it comes to education in this country, I want us to have more options for these young kids to where they are not just conscripted into battle after high school. I don't want that. They need more options. They need more choices. For a nation built on wisdom and intelligence, there is no way that it bodes well for us to conscript children into war. That is unbecoming. And I want change for that. I want to pursue change. I want children to be able to do what they want to do instead of just being forced into something they can. In my platform, we want to do that. That's the change we want to see. Thank you.
Awesome. Mayor, your time starts now. Although I was personally brought up in the Empyrean Wizard Academy, I must reiterate Tashad's point about increasing funds and respect for martial academies as well, that we all agree about that. We all agree that no one job or one life path should be seen as better or worse than the other. However, between myself and my opponent, Senator, I respect your time and your experience with Miss Theodora and the Monk Academy, but you are not the man to consult on what is best for education of children and families in Imperia. My opponent has no children in the Empyrean school system. He's distancing himself from his own family. He's not a family man, and that's all right and well in its own right, in its own regard, but he's not the one to ask about education. Thank you. Awesome. And Senator, you have a moment to respond here.
My opponent is correct. I do not have any children in the Empyrean school system. And I have no family like he does. But it does not take having children to be able to see that, well, it doesn't take having children to look at the face of Theo Holloway as we walked into that library and saw her classmates being drained of their blood. It doesn't take having children to understand that there's a serious problem in this nation when it comes to what has to do with our children. Alright. I have never felt more dejected as a politician. Never felt more disappointed in myself walking into that room. And as someone who is on the front lines and who has frankly been on the front lines of everything while my opponent has been on the front lines of nothing, I can see what change needs to be done as I have felt it. So, I ask all of you kind people here, reflect on that. And reflect on if you have kids or if you have people younger than you. Do you want to see them succumb to this? Do you want to have to hear the news? Do you want to have to tell someone close to you the things that I've seen, the things that have happened to people around me? You don't. You don't need kids to want to care about kids in this nation. Thank you.
Awesome. And moving on to debate issue number 3. We cut back to the rumor session. Kiana, your turn.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello. Speaking. I'm
Yeah.
speaking.
I'm speaking.
I'm speaking. I think Kiana is she's kind of unfazed by the rumors that were presented about her, mainly because, like, well, if I'm evidently tainted goods, then people won't try to come get me. So, don't have to worry about that anymore. But I kind of scanned the room trying to find a cluster of semi-important-ish people. I don't know if you want me to roll perception or...
Roll what you'd like to here. Perception, insight.
Okay. That is a 19.
Awesome. So other than Westerly Davis, who's currently talking to Theo, you see the other 5 senators. No, 4. The other 4 senators of the 6 districts. Maverick is one of them. He's in the other room. Westerly is next to Theo. The other 4 are standing near each other in one kind of little cluster. You would probably know their names. I imagine you're very studied up on the leaders of other nations. All of these people are either freshly elected or freshly re-elected. For District 2, you have Colcut Planet, who is traditional class. District 3, you have Darton Kai, who's traditional. District 4, you have Quentin Ignatius, who is a traditional. And District 6 is Ulysses Marvin, the host of tonight, and he's Progressive Party.
I won't remember any of those.
Okay.
But yeah, Kiana kind of just like walks up steadily towards that group. I'm assuming they're standing, enjoying their drinks, talking amongst themselves while also listening. She kind of sits there and waits for a point in their conversation where they're laughing, and then she kind of includes herself. Oh, I know. What a terrific performance so far by Maverick. Man, it has been so great. Oh, I'm sorry. Princess Kiana Hold of Abyssalia.
Oh, of course. They each take turn. They know what to do. They bow before you and kiss your hand. Princess, how wonderful that you were able to make this long journey from Abyssalia to engage in some Empyrean politics.
Absolutely. It is my delight. I am loving the chance to explore the lands of Arenica, and see this wonderful nation of Imperia, and what better partner than to have the senator of Imperia, Maverick Tashad. It has been so phenomenal, and like I said, what a wonderful performance he's done so far. I can say at first I was a little hesitant, being brought up in royalty, the ways of court as one, is with my studies. But Maverick, he has surprised me. He is very well educated and very helpful so far in this envoy, and it has been just phenomenal. And I don't know if you know or heard, but of course during the Battle of the Forest, yeah, we went toe to toe with the leader of the Paladins. And let me tell you this, if it weren't for Maverick, there'd be a lot of forest still destroyed. And if our senator can do stuff like that on the battlefield, imagine what he could do with a pen and paper.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Sweet. Persuasion, that is also 19.
Yeah. Roll 1d100 for me.
22.
Cool. That was really good. You can roll one more 1d100.
99.
Awesome. Yeah, that was better than a 22. So you see that they all kind of like smirk and look between each other, and they go, yeah, we've worked with the senator for good amount of time now. He's he's good at what he does. What can we say? And you have to think 3 of these 4 men are the opposite party of Tashad.
Right.
But they all just kind of can't knock that. Maybe he's a liberal, but he's one of the good ones.
Right. And as they get done like saying those kind of things, she kind of looks up like, so what are we drinking?
You probably couldn't handle it, sweetheart. It's something a little bit stronger than maybe we're supposed to be having at the debate.
I'll sip it.
I don't know that I can say no. Here you go.
He takes a glass and like very carefully just like takes a sip.
It's like nasty, like grog, nasty whiskey of some kind. Yeah, gross.
Being the first
Ass.
drop of alcohol. It's quite good.
How about that? That put some hair on your chest?
I hope not. We don't grow hair.
Right. Cool.
I hope not.
That's awesome. And what would you like to do in this rumor era, if anything? If you don't want to do a rumor, I'll let you do another check for votes.
I think I'm good for now.
Okay, do you want to do another vote check?
Because I can't think of anything else to say.
Vote
I
check.
gotta
No.
think about it.
Okay, no problem. Lorik, that's your turn.
Okay, I'm Megan Lane. Would I like to ask you, the DM, Joe Underwood, a question?
Sure.
Okay. What I want to do is I want Lorik to squash the rumor about Kiana and get Maverick votes at the same time. But am I correct in understanding that the check for getting Maverick votes is persuasion?
Yeah.
If Lorik does something particularly tough or scary, can we change that to intimidation?
I'd be happy to allow you to do that.
Incredible. Okay. That's what Lorik's gonna do.
Okay, what do you do?
Is there just senators here, or are there people just like important voters?
Yeah, you see like representatives from different different groups and organizations. Like it would be the equivalent of like, oh, there's a PTA member is here to represent the PTA. There's like someone who runs the children's home is here to watch the debate. Someone like all these different like important members of society. As well as just like there's some spectator, just some people in the area who just kind of wanted to watch. And also some of the Council of Elders are here. There's just like, you know, the family and important loved ones of the people who are kind of important governmental members here.
Okay, as Lorik is walking around amongst these groups, would he hear anyone talking about Kiana?
Say, probably some of the women hushed. This is more of a like Bridgerton
Would it be
women
men?
to whisper about, not necessarily the men discussing it. As you're walking around though, before you hop into any of these conversations, you see that a woman like stops you. Are you Lorik?
I think so.
You did those paintings in the orphanage.
Yeah, yes, I are you an orphan?
No, they've been making prints of your art and selling it, and it's all over the capital.
Wow. Really? Selling it?
You're
You
very
can-
well
you can do
known.
that?
You're very well known in the capital. Wow, I love your work. I'm so honored to meet you.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. I didn't know people sold art. How did they? That's crazy.
Well,
Oh.
you've got to meet Dara. Here. And see that she walks you over to a woman, and she's like, "This is Lady Dara Hawthorne. She's in charge of the Empyrean orphanage, and this is who Dart, is that right? This is who you've been corresponding with about the artwork for the children, right? And she's like, yes, Lorik, wow, how wonderful to finally meet you in person. The children have absolutely loved your art. I mean, I hope you don't mind that we've been passing it out, sort of, and it's just brought such joy to the children and to the people of the capital. I mean, you've really become quite a name in the art sphere.
Yes, it's nice to meet you. I'm very glad to hear that my art and my name and everything that's spreading joy and that people know who I am. Anyway, wow, that's incredible. Do you like the art?
Oh, Lorik, the children have absolutely loved it. I found great, immense joy. I love to just sort of study it, and you have such an eye for the way that the lines move across the painting. I mean, it's really incredible.
I have 2 eyes, but thank you. Yes. And yeah, I draw the lines, see where they go. Good. Thank you.
Yes.
I work really hard on it.
I would love if you would be willing to sort of do more. I mean, the children really I don't think that they could ever get enough. I mean, I'm here today at the debate to sort of always paying attention to what the government officials are saying about education and, you know, children and how they intend to deal with it and everything. But if you have anything else on you, I would be happy to buy it off of you.
Oh, I mean, I don't have anything really, not to take away. I don't have anything.
That's fine. That's fine. I just sort of.
I'll keep. If I do more paintings, I'll send them to you guys again.
Well, you're on the Envoy with Senator Maverick, are you not?
Yes, with Maverick. That's where I learned to paint. He stole paints from me one time. He bought me paints from his friend one time.
All right. Well, sort of. I've become quite good friends with his advisor, Joel. I wasn't sure if you'd heard of. Anyway, if you finish any other works, I would love if you could sort of pass it through the grapevine. If you to Maverick gives it to Joel, and the next time we promenade or anything like that, he could hand it over, and I'll display it in the orphanage again. I mean, it was a quality of life improvement for those children.
Wow. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. We aren't really doing any fighting right now, so I'm sure while we're here, I will have time to paint. It's just a lot of people talking.
You are so much bigger than I imagined, and it's marvelous, really. Like, you have such an incredible build. It's
well,
I
yes,
mean,
I'm very strong. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, thank you.
A lot of our children would love to. I mean, I could just imagine it now. They'd be climbing all over you like you're some sort of play structure. Really, it's incredible.
Oh, that would be so fun. I mean, you know, I'm very big. I'm very strong. And you said, I'm sorry?
You should come visit the children sometime.
I hope so. I can't. Can the princess come? I can't go anywhere without her. I actually don't know where she is right now. But
I would love to meet the princess. Yes, of Abysalia.
Yeah. I don't know another. Is there another one?
I'm not an Imperia, but I don't know about. I mean, there's like 3 princesses in Abysalia, so I guess it could have been any one of them. But you mean Kiana?
No, yes, that's my friend. Yeah, I mean, I would love to give you guys more art and meet all these people who love me and apparently and would like how big I was and strong.
Incredible. Well,
you said, I mean, I'm. It makes sense that you would think I was really big. You said you were friends with Joel. He's a very small man, so you know I'm much bigger than he is. So I think you would notice that. Yeah.
in a manner of speaking, I suppose he's short in stature. Incredible. Well, again, my name is Dara Hawthorne. And write me if you need anything. I hope to hear from you soon, Lorik.
Yes, yeah, yes. Nice to meet you.
And she steps away. What was Lorik gonna do for his voting/rumor?
Well, you really threw me, Joe. I wasn't ready for any of that. My vision is that he would hear people. I would rather it. Me, Megan Lane would rather it be dudes, but whatever. My vision is that Lorik will come upon people spreading this rumor about Kiana. I'm gonna get really mad because
You
that's.
you see two not one of the senators, not any of the senators, just people that seem to have some kind of importance to them. What I heard was that the princess has apparently found herself damaged goods as a result of what Sir Tobert has testified to, and it's a right mess, that's what it is. That princess is even this young, defiling and going against the ways of the Empyrean.
And he walks up to them. I'm sorry, who are you talking about?
Who are you?
My name is Lorik. Who are you talking about?
I don't know. What we were talking about in our individual conversation was really any of your business.
But it sounded like it was my business. It sounded like you were talking about someone who isn't around here anywhere, someone who I don't think you know. I mean, I don't think that's very right. So just correct me if I'm wrong. Who are you talking about?
Correct me if I'm wrong, you were not a part of this conversation. And in fact are a man of little significance to be here at all, so I'm not sure why you're even approaching us.
Well, little significance is one thing. Little people are another. And Lorik gets closer to this. How tall is this man that Lorik is speaking to?
5'8".
5'8". Okay, well, I'm 1.5 feet taller than him at least. But little people are another. And I think that you should probably watch what you say and who you say it about.
Give me an intimidation check, DC 15.
17.
17, incredible. Go ahead and roll a 1d100. Oh wait, this is the rumor. Never mind.
This is for the rumor. Yeah.
Yes. Don't roll
anything. We can keep that. Okay.
Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Kiana's rumor was you didn't really do one, did you? No. Okay, that's fine. Lorix, stop talking about Kiana. Cool.
And vote to Sean. I want to tag that in there.
And vote
while I'm here, it would be good for you to remember. Stop talking about Kiana, people you don't know, and vote to Shaw.
Incredible. You can roll that 1d100.
21.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, you just adding on a scaring these men shitless and then going, also vote for the political party that I want you to. And then going,
hey, vote.
Voting's important.
Everyone
awesome.
vote.
Lorik thought it was a good idea at the time.
Yeah, we cut back to the debate. Okay, issue number 3 is going to be crime. And Mayor Smalls, you can start. It's my belief that we all deserve to live in a safe nation. Maverick Tashad is going to talk a lot about his envoy tonight. He's going to talk about his dedication to the Arcanian Alliance, but while he's been busy protecting our foreign affairs and trying to figure out what's happening with capital events, does he know that he's sent the paranoid king to Mania, convinced that his long-dead son is out to get him? Does he know that the king of Terrador has heard about the envoy's attempts to enter his country, and now they are constructing a wall on the western border of their nation to keep us out? How can he justify continuing this envoy when we have plenty of issues in our own backyard to handle? When we have crime lords running rampant, when our citizens don't feel safe because of monk children going missing, kamikaze pixies robbing carriages on the Serpent Spike Road. Have you even heard that, Senator? Do you even care? I care about focusing my efforts on the internal issues of Imperia. Holding up the Arcanian Alliance is crucial to maintaining the trade agreements and peace that has long rested over this land. I would never suggest that we break it. But when Tashad's attempts at helping foreign policy just upset Terrador's leaders further, when crime in Varanth has gone up 45% because of unrest regarding participation in this envoy, how can we say that this envoy is doing any good for the Alliance? And on that very same topic, one member of this envoy in particular, Cyrus Bowen, on her birth certificate, has had many rumored connections to the Executioner, the crime lord from Varanth. How can we trust Tashad's leadership on the topic of crime when he shares an envoy, shares a bed with an alleged criminal? I will work to tighten up on regulation of crime within our nation and to increase guardsman training to ensure high quality of law enforcement. I care about the safety of your families. Tashad only cares about glory. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Mayor. And Senator, now's your 2 minutes starts now.
When it comes to my partner, Cyrus Bowen, Don Smalls is sitting here making claims that are rooted in nothing but falsehood and rumors. And I think that's rather inappropriate of a to be elected official to spread gossip and slander about someone he does not know. Someone who protects the innocent and guards those around her with an iron fist. And when it comes to the crime in Imperia, when it comes to the envoy, I find it interesting that a man can sit here across the stage from me and talk about something he has no clue what happens or occurs in it. This envoy's a group of people who care about protecting their own nations and innocent people, regardless of the nations that they come from. So I speak nothing further about the good this envoy has done, as it has been televised and spread. What good comes from it? My other point, crime. I am here to make your families feel protected. You know, I do want your families to feel, I want to feel protected in this nation that I live in. But crime is a result of poor economic situation. All right, folks. Crime is a situation that we find ourselves in when we're just trying to feed our families. And as far as families are involved when it comes to crime, I met a lovely man in our trek into the Enchanted Forest by Magnus, who had been cursed by a witch, and he can't vote. Now, I don't think in any part is it appropriate that a man trying to provide for his family can't vote because a witch cursed him. And frankly, I think as a society, that's not something we should agree to. I do not believe that we should disallow voting because of things done to us by others. And my campaign, my group, we want to decriminalize our society. Because as I stated previously, crime is a result of our economic situation. And I do agree that we should increase the time it takes to become a guard in Imperia. I do agree with that. That is a great point. But making things more criminalizing more things in society, making people go to jail, that's unbecoming of a wise society. I want to put more funding into the education of people, into the economic stance of middle class men and women, so that they do not have to turn to crime to support their family. Because when you go to jail, and when you sit in jail and you suffer, and when your family suffer, that does nothing for us as a society. And when you criminalize things, when you put more guards in streets to meet a quota, to arrest more people, all that does is build us into a militaristic society. And that is unbecoming of the Imperium. That does not aid us in any way. So my campaign, we're going to put more money into the middle class. Take more so we can put it into the middle class and support them, because they are the backbone of our society. And it's more appropriate to do than just putting more guards into a city. Thank you.
And Mayor, your response here. Senator Maverick and I have always agreed on that issue, actually. The importance of putting more money into the middle class so that people don't feel like they need to steal in order to support their family. I think we can all agree that that's an honorable thing to line up to. And I'd just like to clarify something that the senator said, which is that I'm not advocating for a police state. I'm asking that the guards that we do train and the guards that we do have in our military and that we do have protecting the streets are adequately trained for all types of response interventions. Because if you come across a man on the street who's underneath a charm spell, for example, you have to react to him differently than you might of just a man in his own sound mind. And I want to make sure that our guards have that adequate training. I'm not advocating for more police to patrol the streets of Imperia. I'm advocating for better prepared police to patrol the streets of Imperia. And might I add that Maverick Senator talks about how I haven't had my hands in anything, and that's because, well, I've been running quite a tight ship around here. Silver Mist has been a crime-free city for my entire mayoral stint. We've heard nothing from Maverick Tashad because he has his hands in too many things. Where he's been running through this enchanted forest and going on this envoy that has so much importance to our nation. His campaigning thus far has been done completely by his advisor, Joel Bramblin. So I guess what I'm saying is perhaps the people of Imperia should vote Bramblin if this envoy is going so well and doing so many good things that he needs his hands in them. But I'm just saying, people of Imperia, my hands are free. And you see that Dandy thought, okay, and that's your time. Okay, awesome. So then we'll just move on to our concluding thoughts. But before we do, Joel, it's his turn in initiative order. He's going to go ahead and roll his check and roll his votes. So good. Even better. And he'll go ahead and roll votes to add to Shad. 54. 56. No. And Cyrus, go ahead and take your turn.
All right, so we're all in like a room, but we'll be able to like watch it all, right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. I think she's doing a look around the room real quick. Is there like a group of women, like several women hanging out anywhere in the room?
Yes, you can for sure find that. Like, are you looking for? You would know that women cannot hold office here, so you wouldn't be finding any like governmental women, but you could definitely find like the wives of some senators and that kind of thing, all standing in one kind of place.
Cool. Can she kind of like before she like engages with the group, kind of hang out near them and listen to what they're talking about?
Yeah, you can hear that it is pretty much just children advice being passed back and forth. Where are you guys going after this? Kind of wifely talk, embroidery tips.
Not very political talk going on here.
Not very political ladies.
Yeah. Okay. I think she'll still approach them.
Okay.
Kind of jumping in, listening to them talking about like their kids and stuff like that. And just be like, this debate, it's quite something, is it not? Nothing like watching two grown men yell at each other over our problems.
Isn't that just the truth? I mean, we come to these debates all the time, of course, have to support the husband and everything, but yes, it does grow a bit tiring, doesn't it? Listening to them talk about us.
No, I'm just kind of shocks me, you know. I'm not from this country, but yet I have learned a good bit about it. Seems like it's a lot of talk about stuff and not a lot of movement happening. How do you guys feel about this? I would not want to be treated this way, let me say that.
Not from this country?
No.
You're Cyrus, aren't you?
Cyrus Owen, yes.
Yes, the senator's partner.
Correct.
Huh. We'll have to invite you to the luncheons. The wives we all get together after, while the husbands are off doing what they do. I know you don't have any children yet, but one day, and we all come together, and it's a lot of fun. We play games and do cross stitch and anyway. What did you ask me?
Just curious, like, doesn't any of this bother you? Don't you want more for your life? Isn't being just your husband's, dare I say, trophy a bit of a bore?
Make a charisma-based check, whatever you'd like to do. Persuasion, maybe.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter. They're all bad. So I guess performance? I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. That is a 15.
Okay. You see, she goes, you'll learn this with time, of course, but it gets a bit taxing, if you will, to sit through, it's a lot of empty nights. When he's off at board meetings and all these different kinds of things. And but the children get access to good education and tutors, and we live very comfortably, and I get to sort of raise the children however I'd like to, and it's a comfortable lifestyle. Marriage is hard, it's hard to be married, especially to someone as busy and successful as a senator, but I mean, I suppose not much else to aspire to.
Don't you want the chance to have more for your children? Don't you see them grow and want the best for them and their futures?
Of course I do. They're my everything.
Well, I'm just saying there is one that is thinking of the future and the now, and one that is thinking of the past. Which one would you vote for?
I suppose whoever's thinking about the future.
Well, then I guess we agree on something. I suggest vote to Shad.
You're getting very good at that. Awesome. Go ahead and roll 2d100. Because that was a really good role play.
Cool. And if I don't have a D100, I just roll a D10 and then...
D10 twice. One of them is the first number, the second one is the second number.
Cool, and so I'll do that 4 times, because you said twice, okay.
Yeah.
$51.
Okay.
And 88.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And did you have any additional like rumor type thing that you'd like to do?
Probably talk to these same people and just be like, well, now that we agree on this one thing, now that we've been talking for a little while, I'm a little confused about this rumor I've been hearing going around about apparently me. I mean, I know nothing about it. I'm quite confused. Could you fill me in on it?
What are they saying?
Oh, they're saying I'm associated with some criminal back home, and I know nothing about this person.
Huh. You think they're saying that just because you're from Varan?
No, I'm considering that, but you're lovely ladies. I would never want to say something bad about your country, but some of the people in it that I have come to meet, they don't have a lot of nice things to say.
I think I might know who might have said that.
Oh, who is it?
You see that she starts to like tell you about some woman that they know from a different like bridge club or something like that was with Tashad in the past, and like, well, maybe she's just jealous and so she's spreading this rumor about you. And don't worry, we've just barely met and I can already tell that you're not any kind of criminal. I'll make sure that if I hear anybody talking about that, I'll shut it down.
I appreciate it. I just don't think some people in this country like a strong woman, and it's kind of sad to see. I hope that changes in the future.
You're very funny. And they awesome. Incredible. Very good. Afriel rolled her votes as well as she's trying to do that. And then we return to the concluding statements. Dandy goes, okay, and so we'll ask for concluding statements from both candidates now. Mayor, you're first. Don goes, the answer is simple, District 1. This is a monumental election. You can vote Tashad and everything will remain exactly as it has for the last 12 years of Tashad, of Tashad III, and for decades before that of his predecessors. But if you have children that you care about, if you care about safety, want better conditions for the working class, if you have concerns about the social injustices in our nation, I encourage you to think big and vote smalls. Thank you. And Senator, your concluding thoughts.
I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. And I just want to touch back on what my advisor said. at the beginning of this debate. 36 bills and 4 pieces of legislation passed in 2.5 terms. When it comes to the Tashad, me, just me, I've done a lot in my time. And I may have my hands in a lot of different pies, but I can assure you that's all with due diligence to keeping this nation as it should be. When it comes to my previous successors, I want y'all to remember that I am my own man. And I will do things differently than how they were prior. I want you all to vote for someone who stands on what they believe in and who can articulate exactly what they believe in. Because I stand for something. Alright. And I can say that when it comes to certain issues, I stand for something. And my opponent cannot even articulate that he stands for another thing. When it comes to the foundations of our society, the women who have built us up, I want to progress you. I want to make you be able to hold positions in government. I want to make you more than something that is just baby makers and wives of politicians and men. I want these children to be able to become something outside of themselves. I want them to become their own people, not just people who work for Imperia. I want you all to remember, please, the sad refugees of the Enchanted Forest. And just remember, Senior lied to you. Junior took advantage of you. And 3rd time's the charm. So don't vote to Shad out of habit, alright? Vote out of trust. Thank you.
A cheer goes out up over the room that the rest of our party is in. Don hops down off of his stool, comes over and offers a handshake to you. Have a good night, Senator.
Maverick takes his hand. And he shakes his hand into the cameras. It's a gentle, kind embrace of 2 politicians who just had a great debate. But he leans close to Smalls and just whispers, "You ever lie or slander my envoy, my friends that I care about, and my partner again, this won't just be a debate." Thank you. Thank you. And he turns.
Always happy to engage in democracy with you, Senator Maverick. Walks away. You all get a little bit of time here to react. Maverick rejoins you in the main room. Don is going about and flitting around in his room, in this main room. You all rejoin, is what I'm saying. What do you say to each other in these moments immediately following the debate?
I hope that went better for all of you than it just did for me. Because, damn, did I get my ass cooked on that stage.
Hey,
Goddamn.
man. Hey. Monk. It was fine.
I met Joel's girlfriend. She likes
met
my
Joel's-
art.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Hey.
she's really nice. She's a lot nicer than Joel.
Lord, have you been working out?
You know I have, Maverick. I'm very strong. Thank you. Thank
You're
you for
getting
noticing.
big. You're bigger than me. I mean, you've always been taller than me, but you're getting like, damn.
I know.
I know what.
I know. Thank you.
What you're on. Damn.
Kiana just walks up to Maverick with that glass of whiskey. Maverick, you did sorry. Here, take this. It's too much. You did amazing. Simply fantastic.
Have you been drinking this the whole time?
Only sips.
How many sips?
And he has like 3 fingers. He's like 7, maybe.
Oh my god. You are. That's a lot. Okay. Whew.
Ooh.
Don't drink any more of that. That's a lot.
I didn't
Cool.
I didn't like it. But
No.
everyone was drinking it, so I felt like it was good for image.
Okay. Oh. Oh. I like the fruity drinks. That was terrible. Oh my gosh. All right. How did y'all's talking going? How did that go?
I don't really know how to do this. I talk to the guy nearest to me.
Well, I was
I didn't
able
even get
to,
his name.
I was able to talk to, and I list off the names of the name that Joe had mentioned earlier. I do not remember a single one. But yeah, I was able to talk to those gentlemen, and they seem quite interested in considering you for this upcoming election.
That's good. That's good because Smalls doesn't know fucking shit of what he's talking about. I'm not just saying that because I want to get reelected, but damn.
Joel rejoins you all, puts a hand on your shoulder, leans in close to your ear. Very good job.
Thank you.
Kind of squeezes your shoulder, puts an arm around you. And he goes, if you'd like to talk about your opponent, I think we should go back to your inn room. But if you'd like to talk to a few people before you leave, let's do that before you make your graceful exit. But we'll leave people wanting more. I think we should leave somewhat soon.
I think Maverick's looking for. And when Joel says that, he like looks out into the crowd. He's looking for the most important person, the person that he knows out of all these people. He either needs to win their votes the most, like sway them towards his votes, or just someone important to that stature.
I would say probably in terms of like the Imperial equivalent of like, who's your swing state, right? Like, who do you need the support of? I would say that you would probably know Coldcut Planet, who is the traditional senator of District 2, which is the one right next to you. That's probably because of the amount of people who like live in District 1 but commute to District 2 and blah blah blah. Like that might be the smartest person to talk to. And you know, like traditionally he's been reelected many times, and you two have not gotten along.
Maverick is gonna go talk to that guy.
Coldcut Planet.
Whole cut planet.
Cold cut planet?
Cold cut
Planet.
Yeah. So I told her, like, if I wanted my suit tailored, then I would have took it to a tailor. Like, and you approach him as he's talking to some of the other men.
Oh. And Maverick like enters this conversation about that he's like no bearing in. He's like, oh, Mr. Planet, how are you?
Senator Tashad, you performed excellently tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, just to be blunt, what did you agree with and what did you disagree with?
Oh. I'm getting straight into it, I see. Well, you know that I think you're a very strong-willed and opinionated young man. You're talking to Coldcut. He's similar age to Don Smalls. I've always appreciated the Tashad's fire, and perhaps I agree more with kind of where your grandfather was coming from, but that doesn't mean that I don't respect you as a politician and a rhetorician. You know how I feel about putting the emphasis on wizarding academies, since the Empyrean calls us to be wise, not brutish. And you also know that as much as I feel for the people of the Enchanted Forest, we have plenty of other problems other than some trees getting burned down. The forest kind of has a way of magically rehealing itself anyway, so there's always that. And I think you speaking on behalf of the women of our nation is awful rich. I think if you speak to most of the women in this room, you'll find that they're very happy where they are. But you asked, Senator.
So, you'd vote Smalls, then?
I'm not able to vote in a District 1 election. I'm a District 2 resident.
I know what you are. We're speaking hypotheticals, aren't we? So you'd vote Smalls?
No, because Don Smalls has never been anywhere or done anything, and he also doesn't agree with any of the things I just said. And if I have to choose between some small town mayor who's never done anything and a well-accomplished, 36 bills passed and quite the legacy, well, I'd have to go with the report card. I can't help that District 1 is a progressive district. Would I prefer it to be the opposite? Sure, but also, well, we're a 3-3 nation, so.
Can't change your mind about your political party. But I just want to ask you a little bit about a little comment about women. Right, about the women in this room being happy with where they are. Are the women and men in this room Imperia?
We represent a small subsection of Imperia. But I do my fair share of door knocking in District 2. We're a bit more rural out there, and I know you're used to the sort of stone jungle of the downtown of Misthaven and all those big tall buildings with 2 stories, but out in District 2 we have large expanses of farmland, and we have real simple folks out there who understand the honest, hard days of work, and the wives enjoy their lives as farmers' wives and mothers, and they're raising the next generation of Empyrean young people. Isn't that wonderful? But, I've done my fair share of door knocking in between all these different rural homes, and I've found that, well, I guess the voters agreed, because back for my 17th term.
Yeah. Well, it kind of sucks when young minds start to slip in the other direction. Where, I don't know, young women start to watch as 3 amazing young women go on this envoy and, pardon my language, kick ass. Do things that outside the normal. I mean, I shouldn't ask you if you're prepared for it. I'm sure you're well prepared for it. When young women start to think differently than their traditions, right? When young women start to realize that they don't need a man to hold them accountable. I mean, I don't have a young woman on my arm who's telling me that need to marry her and have kids with her. Young minds are changing and shaping this nation.
You're, as you've just announced to the entire nation tonight, dating someone who is not from this nation and does not share the values of the Empyrean, and that's all right and fine. I'm not commenting on your partner, but you can't say that her opinions reflect how Empyrean women think. She's not an Empyrean woman, and women have, thanks to you and your family, have been able to vote for a good amount of time now, and their votes reflect planet in District 2. They like what I have to say about their place in society. It's good to see you, Senator. Let's get lunch sometime. I gotta go.
Now hold on. I'll be frank with you.
As you always are.
And you know I love it. Look, I'm not trying to scare you into what's about to come. I'm not trying to scare you that women are changing their minds. I mean, we've done surveys too. I love a good survey. I love door knocking. And you know I do love that. I love talking to women. I love talking to men. What I've seen...
You do.
I do. What I've seen is that when taken away from prying husbands' eyes, women of Imperia, I mean, they like to vote for their own interests and their children's own interests. And when two women can get together and have babies, I mean, who needs a man, right? So I just wanted to keep you in the loop. No, I just want to keep you in the loop about that. But the small changes happening. And while my beautiful partner is not an Empyrean woman, Empyrean women have eyes, and they got ears, and damn do they got mouths. Talk is talk, and talk will spread. So just keep your eye out, alright? Women have their place in society. Okay? And it's not with a man. They don't need men. So, about that lunch, we can get lunch sometime. Or we can pretend like we're gonna get lunch sometime and never end up doing it, right? Because our advisors can never seem to settle on a date. And that always seems to happen. Busy schedules and they conflict. So, have a lovely night. And keep drinking that concoction in your cup. And just remember, you know, women are always going to end up on top. Bye! And he turns and he immediately walks away from that conversation. Just like speed walking away.
He runs out the door.
In a very literal sense, Senator. Very good. Out you go. Love playing sexist men. Big fan. You are walked back to the inn. What do you say to each other now that you're back in closed quarters? Here in your hotel room.
That guy
Quite
kinda
the
sucked.
performance there, Mav.
What guy, Theo?
The other one.
Smalls?
Yeah.
The other one.
Not you.
I mean, well, I may have shown my ass quite a few times on this envoy, but I do know one thing in this politics, and he's not gonna get jack shit done. My theory is that he's got someone wanting him to run, and he's gonna fucking do something with that. I feel like there's something deeper, but I don't. Don Smalls isn't gonna get shit done. I don't understand what he was running for.
I think Josie was trying to say something, and
Yes.
she got blipped out through the crosstalk.
No, she just said, quite the performance there, Mav.
Well, I can talk the talk. I mean, done it for years, so didn't appreciate him talking about the Envoy that way. Or any of it. Or the monk school. Honestly, it's all the same, really. It's just two grown men who have no place talking about shit, arguing with each other back and forth about things that they say they believe in. And he can get elected or I can get elected, but what's actually going to change from that?
While you guys are talking, Bart and Theo and Kiana, I think you realize that, like, man, Rock's been cooped up all day. Germ was cooped up, has been cooped up in Maverick's pocket all day. So I think that the four of you go, or the three of you go join Lorik outside where he's playing with Rock in the yard. Maverick exhausted, pulling off the medieval pulling off the tie. While Maverick and Cyrus are having this conversation, the other three sneak out to go get some energy out. They've been cooped up all day.
So how are you feeling now?
I feel like I did nothing. Like I got nothing done. I mean, I don't know what the votes are gonna look like, but fuck, if I don't get reelected, what's my fucking Jesse? That's terrifying. What is my fucking point in being on the goddamn Envoy? I mean, fuck, Tyrus. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
I think she just kind of reaches a hand up to his face and just kind of rubs her fingers across his scar and just says, well, I was out there listening to everyone talk, and I think you did a pretty good job. I don't see what you're getting all flustered about.
And he like leans into her touch and he's like, I get flustered after every one of these. I don't really know how to take. I don't know how to de-stress, I think is the issue.
Aw, getting a little hot under the collar.
All right. Well, a little bit. It pisses me off, Cyrus, when they talk about you that way. I may have made a mistake after when I was shaking his hand. And I may have told Don if he, and he like steps closer and like puts his hand on her cheek. He's like, and I may have told Smalls if he ever brought up the Envoy or you again like that. Well, we wouldn't need to be on a debate floor to get it figured out.
So you were playing a little intimidation in the game, huh?
He's a cunt. So, yeah. I'd beat his ass.
You did.
I'd try.
He doesn't seem like someone that can do much here. I mean, I don't know much about politics, but hearing everyone and hearing you talk and how everyone reacted, I think you did a pretty good job. Are you proud of yourself?
I'm proud of some of what I did. Now, are you proud of me? That's the real question.
I think that she kind of reaches up and undoes his tie for him. Says, I can say that. She tosses it across the room.
What? All right. And I think Maverick looks at the tie and then like looks back at Cyrus and he just kisses her. Like full hands in her hair kisses her.
I'm sorry. Oh. I thought I was
Okay,
muted.
I'm sorry.
I thought I was muted.
Okay. Aw, aren't you just obsessed? And I'm not even trying.
Nina, are you trying to dirty talk with me right? The kids are outside walking a dog. I mean, if you're trying to get me in bed, I'm all for it. But you forget who you're talking to, sweetheart.
No. I think you forget who you're talking to. She pushes him on the bed. Hey, you wanted to see me more vulnerable, didn't you? Guess I'll just take this armor off.
Fade to black!
Roll
Fade to black!
performance! Roll performance! I'm kidding.
Both of you
No.
roll performance.
Roll performance right now.
Both of you roll performance.
Please, Maverick,
See,
get a
that was
4.
hot as hell. I'm so
Yeah.
attracted to you right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you on the edge of the bed. You're about to
21.
fall off.
I got a 21, bitches. A 21.
Okay. Cyrus doesn't have any
Oh my
charisma, so this is gonna have to
You
be
can do an
flat.
advantage because you were cool as hell.
Okay,
Yeah.
Slay, I'll do that. Thank you.
I'll give you advantage for being hot.
I'm so glad you said that because I rolled a 2.
You did not perform a 2, so roll again.
Okay. That's an 18.
18.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're good at something, right? They're both Maverick's good at politics and sex. So,
Two things.
two things. You guys, is there anything else you need to say about this?
You guys fucking
Before-
bang.
We move to the next one? It's awesome.
I mean, we shut
Actually-
the door.
You shut the door.
We shut the door.
Thanks.
And we slam it down big style.
You slam it down
yeah.
window.
Hey, the All-Star Special.
The All-Star Special.
Oh my god.
And with that, Maverick has a son to admit that he's the father of next time. But we can't possibly have him bang Cyrus and then go, no, that's tomorrow's
No.
issue.
Hey, no.
Bart and Theo and Kiana, is there anything else that we need to do before you go to bed that evening? You guys come back in with Lorik after playing with the dogs. Don't worry. Whatever just occurred is already over by the time you come back in. Or at least you don't know what's happening. If it isn't,
Damn,
And-
4 minutes. All right.
Hey, no, I have a
how long
funny
they were playing with the dog.
I have a funny proposition.
Okay.
How close were we? Is our hotel to the place where we were for the thing?
Literally like a quarter-mile walk. Like nothing crazy.
Whoa. Okay, I think I would have wanted to go back and like gotten any of the food leftovers.
Awesome. Yeah,
me, Bart, Kiana, and Lorik all walk to the convention center and we eat the finger food out of the dumpster.
Yeah.
So you guys are gone for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was like we went outside and then I was like, I'm kind of thinking about those little finger sandwiches. Bart, do you want one?
Yeah, let's go back.
Let's go back.
Let's go get
Surely
'em.
it's still open. It's 11 p.m. Of course, they're still gonna be open. And
And
I think that's what
Kiana
we
goes
do.
with them.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
Kiana doesn't eat a garbage sandwich, but you know, she wants to tag
Can we
along.
also drink like a bottle of champagne?
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And right before we end, Necklace summons Kiana.
Okay, are we back at the inn, or are we still at the
Yeah.
behind the
Wherever
garbage?
you-
What-
Is this at the dumpster?
Where do you want to be? No way.
Oh,
It's okay. I can hear you.
I say we're already back in the inn, and I go. Oh. Well, I think I'm going to check in for tonight. It was a very eventful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And jumps in her barrel and shuts the
bye,
lid.
Kiana.
Ah.
And you see Necklace goes, I think that you did a really good job today. With networking?
You think so?
Yeah, you were talking to them just like how you're supposed to in court. That was really cool.
Well, I mean, Jesus.
I thought that was me. That was with the barrel. That's Theo outside.
It's the champagne.
Well,
Kiana, you can't keep drinking like that. You have to be under control.
okay, the drink was improv, and that because I wanted them to take me seriously. It's not my strong suit, but I did learn a thing or two from watching you, so yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm sorry that we fought.
I'm too.
Love you.
Love you. Good night.
Good night. And with that, sweet good night, Bart and Theo climb into the bunk bed and tell ghost stories and go to bed. Kiana into her barrel, Lorik and Rock in the living room, and Maverick and Cyrus in the master. Cuddled up and sleeping sweetly. And with that, as the debate comes to a close, as the first day of Ember Glow comes to a close, so does session 16.
So he's like, whiskey. Whiskey, am I right? All right, people. Do you want a candidate who empowers young minds? Do you want a candidate that will stand for something you believe in? Do you want a candidate that probably the most gorgeous man you've ever seen? Probably the most stunning, the pinnacle of male beauty to vote for. The kind of guy that can get a job done, if you know what I mean. If that's what you want, vote Smalls. Because in a society where we dream big, what matters is the little guy. The little guy.
Get it? Because she's short.
Get it because his penis is small? Vote small. Am I right?
Now do the outro, you
Vote
freak.
small.
No, where are you
back.
going?
This was. Hold on. This
Are you
was
naked from the waist down? Can we talk about this? Are you naked from the waist down right now? Okay. just checking.
Right. I had pants on, bro. Anyways.
He's pulling his cock out!
Indeed, I am.
Indeed, I am.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Terrador's Trespass Whispers of the Dice. Like and subscribe below, and leave a comment if you would vote to Shot or Smalls. Also, leave a like for Hurricane Helene. Can we get a shout out for Hurricane Helene? She's outside my door right now, and she wants you to vote for Sean. Also, featuring any tornado that we came across. Thank you for tuning in. I do have pants on this whole time.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Uh,
Bye.